Hey everyone, it's Victoria with She's Gone Country Farms, and I just wanted to take a minute to talk about a few things today. Talk about using space in your garden effectively, getting good deals, things like that. It'll all come together and make sense why I would talk about two totally different things. So first of all, let's talk about buying seeds. Right now is a very good time to buy seeds for your 2020 garden. I know a lot of you are like, I'm not even done with my current garden. Or there's that misconception that you have to buy seeds in the gardening year that's like listed on the package. It'll say, packaged for 2019. Well, that doesn't mean that you can only use them in 2019. Some of my best germinations this year were from seeds that were for a 2014 growing year. It just means that basically you should have the best germination rate for that year. It doesn't mean that you can't use those seeds for years and years and years if you store them properly, which a lot of people do. Most of the time those seeds come, there's like, I don't even know, 100 seeds in there for say some lettuce, and you've got a 4x4 garden. That's not a one season deal. At least it isn't for me. So what I do is I just store them properly in a cool, dry place, and I use my seeds for years. It helps me every year kind of have some variety, helps me not break the bank, and it makes it so that I can buy seeds now at the end of the year for the following year. For example, my gardener just had a buy one, get one free sale going on. His seed packets were only 99 cents each, so that means I spent 50 cents for a package of seeds. Awesome! So then that brings me into the other thing I wanted to talk about, which is really what kind of seeds should I get? I have a lot of people ask me what they should get. Hey, what tomatoes should I get? Victoria, what peppers should I get? And I can't answer that question for people without maybe knowing what their plans are. For example, let's say that you want to do tomato sandwiches and that's your favorite thing. You just all winter cannot wait to have a fresh tomato sandwich. You would not want to then plant Roma tomatoes. These are more for, I grabbed one that was starting to have blossom end rot. These are not for tomato sandwiches. Could you use it for one? Sure. I think you're going to be disappointed. It's not what it's really intended for. These are more for making sauce, whether it be gravy, as the Italians call it, or just the tomato sauce that you would use that come in the smaller cans usually. That's what these can be used for. But it's really mostly like the gravy, like spaghetti sauce. Let's call it spaghetti sauce. So you wouldn't want to get these. In addition, let's say you have a 4x4 garden. You need so many of these to be able to make one jar or one serving of spaghetti sauce that I just don't know that this would be your best bet. But if that's all you want to do, then you would use that whole space for just getting some kind of like Roma, San Marzetti, Marzano, I always say it wrong. Anywho, you wouldn't want to do this if you were just looking forward to tomato sandwiches. You might want to do something more like an Armana orange. This is one of my smaller Armana oranges. Now this is something that's more versatile. These are great on a tomato sandwich. These are not chock full of seeds. So these are also really good for making a spaghetti sauce. Would it be different? Yes, it's yellow. Would it be delicious? You betcha. It also would be good for say making tomato soup. So it really just depends on what your intentions are and what kind of seeds you should buy. You have to really sit down and think about that. This year I did a whole bunch of Roma tomatoes. I wanted to do a lot of canning. I had enough space though that I could do those and fill in with some other tomatoes. I love the delicious tomatoes. It's actually a thing. It's not just that all tomatoes are delicious because, well, they are. This is actually a delicious tomato. You can do delicious tomatoes, are very versatile. I really loved this year the Abe Lincolns, which are about the same size, maybe a little bit bigger. The Rutgers, same thing, just a smaller tomato. You can do these on a sandwich. or you could use these to make a sauce. What I maybe wouldn't do is get some of the heirloom varieties that grow like this, and they get a little wild and gnarly. They're delicious. They usually have a little more seeds. So if you're limited on space, my suggestion would be something that's more versatile. Armana Orange, and a Delicious, or an Abe Lincoln, a Rutgers, something like that. So that would be my advice. I would get those seeds now because you're going to find them on sale at most gardening websites. You will not find seeds at the grocery store or at the hardware store, at least not most of them, none of the ones that I've gone to. Sometimes if you live in an area that has a Dollar General, you can get some seeds there, but it'll be pretty limited. Your best bet is going to be to go online to get those seeds. So let's also quickly touch base on how I ended up being able to grow so many plants this year, because my actual garden isn't a ton of space. I did a lot of container gardening. Now I know a lot of people say, well, that's really expensive, Victoria. I cannot afford to go out and buy a bunch of containers, so I'm just going to have to use my 4x4 space. I disagree. Here's what you do. 1, find a friend that has a cat. They will have purchased, oftentimes, the kitty litter that comes in the plastic container. That makes a perfect container for growing a pepper plant. When we walk up front, I will show you. Perfect thing for growing a pepper plant in. Love it. 2, buckets. You can get, most places like Menards or whatever, they'll have sales on a 5-gallon bucket. It's like $2, maybe $2.50. Now, $5, keep in mind, if we're talking peppers, you can fit 2 pepper plants in that 5-gallon bucket. I have an example of it over there. I don't know if I can get there. Justin's finally laying down, not being a wild mess, so I don't think I want to get him stirred up. So see, there you go. $5, you could have 4 tomato plants, or I'm sorry, 4 pepper plants. It's a lot of peppers. If you think about the peppers you're going to grow, which is going to bring us back to the seeds that you're going to purchase on sale. If you're wanting to have sweet peppers, my suggestion would be not to get bell peppers, at least not like the big bell peppers. My experience with peppers, and maybe it's just me, could be, is that you're not going to get that many peppers. If you're limited on space, I would get some kind of a sweet pepper that's either a smaller sweet pepper. You can get like the smaller, I guess it would still be a bell pepper, but they're smaller. I would actually, though, get some kind of a sweet wax pepper. Let's go grab one. Mine are all hot peppers, but they look the same. The reason that I get those is because you can grow so much more of them in less space because they take less time to ripen. They're yellow, so I don't have to wait for the process for them to go from green to like a yellowish color to red. Those kinds of peppers take more time. If you get the banana peppers, that was the word I was looking for, not wax, then it's not going to take as much time. So this is a hot Hungarian wax, but banana peppers look the same. They have a great flavor, they will be sweeter, and they're great for cooking. You can also see in my 5-gallon containers here. Here it is. I couldn't find my one. I thought I was losing my mind. I am, but just not about this. Can we see it? See? 5-gallon. I have 2 peppers in here. I have a poinsettia and a hot Hungarian wax. Can we see the pepper? Not really. There you go. Don't need that much space. Works out great. I would strongly suggest, sorry about the angle of this, we're going to walk up here. I would strongly suggest, if you have a smaller garden, put your tomatoes in the ground, and your peppers in the containers. You can always save then one of your 5-gallon buckets to grow some carrots in. I have carrots started in here. There are plenty of different types of carrots that don't need a ton of space, because if you get some carrots that are only like, I don't know, say get to be about that big, maybe 5-6 inches, you've got plenty of space. Here is my pepper that's in the kitty litter. This is a habanero, or no, this is a jalapeno. We just harvested off of it, so there's not on here now, but as you can see, there's tons more that are starting. Great deal. You could get that for free if you've got friends that have cats and use that kitty litter. You get a free pot that way. It's enough for pepper plant. Go get to the store and get the 5-gallon buckets on sale for $2. You can fit 2 pepper plants in one 5-gallon bucket. Use the rest of your 4x4 space for your tomatoes, and grow tomatoes that are versatile. Grow something that can make you a fantastic tomato sandwich, or something that you can throw into a pot and make yourself some spaghetti sauce. Get those seeds today, because right now is when everything is going to be at least half off, if not more. I hope that those tips help you guys have a really great 2020 gardening season and help you keep a little money in your pocketbook. And as usual, happy gardening!